Hello, ladies. And I don't know if you're gentlemen as well. I'm letting you all into the meeting. Okay. You all coming in so long. I'm just letting people in as we go. Ladies, please put in the comments, say hello in the chat section and let me know where you are calling from or dialing in from. Oh, Marcy from America, hello, yay. So just pop that in there. I'm just admitting everybody as you guys are joining me. Okay. Amy from Cape Town, yay, hello Amy. Leila from Pretoria, Rebecca, Andrea, hello guys. Yeah, I'm so glad to have you with me. Thanks for coming and joining on your Saturday night. Just please make sure you are all muted and that because I should be able to mute you all. So please just make sure you're muted and your videos are off for the duration of the talk. If you have questions, you feel free to pop them in the chat section and I'll try and answer as many of them as I can. Hello, Erica from Pretoria and Chanel and Kat from Joburg and from Durban, Jane. So we've got the whole of South Africa covered already, I think, which is divine. So lovely to have you all here. I'm going to give us a few more minutes just to let people join in. Okay. So, okay. Ladies, I have been wanting to do this program for 3 years already, so I'm so excited to have you all on the call tonight, and I'm going to get started in the next couple of seconds. I'm just going to see here. I'm still trying to manage this whole webinar story, so just forgive me if I'm a little bit just letting people in here. Okay, there we go. I think I've got most people in now. Okay. So I'm going to start my share screen. Let's do this. Okay. Just have a look here. Okay. Okay, I just want to see if there's anybody that I still have to let in. I think I've let most of the people in. I'll check in a second again. Okay, so ladies, I am Claire Yulsing-Stradom. I'm a registered dietitian. You might be following me on Instagram or TikTok because I love that platform as well. And tonight I want to share with you my story about PCOS. We're also going to do this amazing webinar that I've been working on. It's 4 steps to managing your PCOS in 2021. So first of all, I want you to please make sure that you are, let me just see here. I want to make sure that you're all ready, and I have sent out a link for a little worksheet. If you haven't got it, it will be entered into the chat at the moment, and you can actually have a look at it over there. So you can have a squiz. Sorry, let me just, I'm having to let more people in. There's the link. So if you haven't got the download, please quickly have a look at this. It's not difficult. If you're not sure what to do and you haven't seen it yet, literally write down for me what you've eaten in the last 24 hours. So try put detail in, ladies. Put there, what did you eat for breakfast? Did you eat breakfast? What did you have for dinner? Your lunch? Did you have any water to drink? Write down what you've been having to eat and to drink so we can go through it in a minute and see what you are all doing. Okay, I'm going to go back into share screen. Okay, you should all be able to see my screen now. So what matters today is that we take action, ladies, that you signed up for this course because you're obviously battling with your PCOS. I want to see in the chat, what is the #1 thing that you're absolutely struggling with the most? What is the thing about your PCOS that's the hardest for you? Write it in the chat for me. Is it the weight gain? Is it the acne? Is it the mood swings? What's the hardest part that you're battling with? Okay. So I want to see where you're getting stuck, what you're struggling with. Write it in the share screen for me. For the session, please don't multi-screen, don't multitask. Put in your, put your phone down. Focus here, get a pen, get a paper, write down what you, the notes from today, because I'm going to give you lots of different information. I wanted to leave with good, solid information that you can already apply, that you can make changes already to dinner tonight. So literally, there'll be changes that you can implement immediately. And interact. Please interact. Put your messages in. I will be jumping from the messages to my screen and checking what your messages are. And I really want to try and answer your questions. So let me know, how long have you had PCOS? Are you newly diagnosed, or have you had it for years? I mean, I've been diagnosed since 2006. So this condition has been with me for many, many years. And I've also been treating women with PCOS in my private practice for the last 17 years. I've been treating women with PCOS. So I know what this is all about. And I've obviously been working with patients so much in this space already. Okay. So the thing with this webinar is I've got some really amazing bonuses for you. If you stay right to the end of the session, I've actually got amazing protein exchanges that I'll share with you. I'm going to share with you how to read a label like a pro, a little workbook with an infographic, which is a summary, because I see so many people get stuck with not knowing, how much protein is in this product or how much carbs. They don't know how to read labels, and you need to understand how to read labels so that you actually do get a bit of a insight into what you're eating, how much you're having. So for those of you that stay right till the very end, there's a little bonus up for grabs for you. So this session is for you if you're tired of feeling confused, of not knowing what to believe anymore with your PCOS, if you're just feeling so stuck, so frustrated, so overloaded, if you're feeling that you've got information overload, put a yes in the comments for me. Let me see a yes or a hell yes or a clear yes. I'm stuck, I'm frustrated. I scroll through millions of Instagrams, not knowing what to do, because I feel like that's a thing that a lot of patients of mine battle with. When patients sit in my office, the two most common things they say to me is, "You are my last hope." It's like no pressure, but that's what they say. And then the other thing always is, "Hey, this is so much food. Are you sure I'm actually going to lose weight with eating all this food?" Because a lot of women with PCOS, because we battling with our weight, we land up not eating enough. We get stuck with, we get stuck on that thing. Well, I'm not losing weight, so I must eat less. I must eat less. And before you know it, you're hardly having anything anymore. This session is also for you if you are so over being told you need to lose weight, even though that is what you're trying so desperately to achieve, and you literally just feel stuck. I had a patient this week actually, and she said to me, she was exercising with her friend, and her friend, she was exercising and doing everything and nothing was happening. She wasn't losing weight. And the friend actually said to her, "I don't want to be rude or anything, but are you binge eating secretly? Are you like secretly eating stuff and then not saying?" And this patient said to me, that was the thing that just broke her. She was like, "I've literally been doing everything and nothing is helping." And she's just feeling so stuck. This session is also for you if, do you feel like no one actually believes you when you tell them that you're trying but nothing is changing? Maybe you feel like that. Patients of mine, if you've had experiences like this, share them in the chats, because we all here with this condition, and it's so nice to sometimes just share this with other people and know that you're not the only one dealing with these things. Okay, I've been there. I've battled with this condition, and I just want to share my story with all of you as well. So this is me. Let me just get my little thing to go here. It's me and my lots of animations. That's me in my 4th year of studying to become a dietitian with my full class of 4 English girls in the Free State. This is my best friend. She's a doctor and I'm a dietitian, and this is us at our graduation in 2004. So she's actually the one that forced me to go and see a gynae, because I would literally be on the pill for 6 months because my acne would be so bad. But then I've gone the pill and I pick up between 8 and 10 kilos in those 6 months. Then I'd stop the pill so that I could lose weight again, but then my acne would be bad. So And when I wasn't on the pill, my cycle would be all over the show. Like I wouldn't actually know if I'm having a 65-day cycle or a 40-day cycle, or I literally wouldn't know. So this best friend of mine, we made a deal. She said, okay, you have to go to the gynae. And I said, I'll go to the gynae if you stop with bad diets. Like that has to be the deal that we make. And lo and behold, I eventually did go to the gynae in 2006. And I was lucky. I hit the jackpot of a gynae who actually knew about PCOS, could diagnose me immediately and really give me tangible help. So that made all the difference for me. I've subsequently learned a lot about PCOS. You can imagine having the condition, treating women. Here's me at a conference. There's me in Sydney. I've been a speaker on this topic. There's me in Spain. There, I was in Dubai speaking at the Arab Health Conference. This has been the thing that I've dealt with professionally. I teach other dietitians about PCOS, but also personally. And I think it's important that you realize that I've also gone through these things that you are struggling with. And I really have empathy for my patients. And here's me. I've battled with fertility. And in 2013, I had my first son, Philip. My little boy was born. And I didn't sleep for 13 months. And I literally picked up so much weight. I was eating well, but I just wasn't sleeping. And my PCOS did not like the sleep deprivation. Just like you guys, I had a miscarriage in between Philip and my second born son. And here's me cooking dinner with Harry. And I've picked up so much weight. In 2017, I was literally at my heaviest. And I said to my sister before this call, I'm just not start crying when I share my story with you guys, because when I shared it with my husband, I just cried and I couldn't even finish practicing my talk for him. So here I am. You guys can see what I look like. I mean, I was the heaviest I have ever been. And I was a mom. I was breastfeeding. There I am. I'm a working mom, cooking dinner with my baby in my arms. So I know how that feels. But I then decided I need to change. I can't battle like this. I need to take these action steps. So I literally put into action the strategies that I was doing with my own patients, and I started sleeping through, which was a big thing for me. When I was breastfeeding, my boys were big. I had like 3.8 kg babies, and I was breastfeeding them like what felt like the whole night. I actually remember getting in the car one day and not knowing how to drive. I didn't know which pedal was which. I didn't know what to do. So I literally started putting this plan up. And what happened next is I went from these pictures here. You can see me at the top of the screen there with all my skinny dietitian friends that don't have PCOS. And yeah, it's difficult being an overweight dietitian, I promise you, when people want to give you comments. But anyway, I started making real changes in my life, and I went from these pictures here and actually started losing weight. And there I am, 14 kilograms lighter, feeling so much better, so much happier. But I really made a big effort to start changing my health. I had to get my sleep right. I had to start exercising. I had to check my bloods. And I'm going to chat to you guys more about this, because if you have not checked bloods, you don't know where you're even starting or what you're actually dealing with. And it makes it so hard to manage your condition if you sort of have a shot in the dark and you don't know what's going on. So I became even more obsessed with PCOS and understanding of the in-depth things. You can see my lever arch files. I'm in my office at the moment, but I've got 3 lever arch files just of literature that I read. And I read PCOS articles for fun, like a proper little nerd, but it's because I'm so passionate about this condition and I want to help other women to not battle, because so many women don't get the right advice. They don't have the proper tests done. No one is like an expert in PCOS. Everyone's doing a whole bunch of different conditions, and you struggle to find the person that can really, really help you. I just want to make a shout out because I see some of the girls on here are actually some of my existing patients. And if you're my existing patient, please just pop a hello in the comment section for me as well. Let me know that you're there, and just share with the other ladies on the call what you've been doing so far with me. So have you felt like giving up? Because no matter what you try, you feel like you can't actually get in control of your PCOS. And I want to say to every single one of you on this call right now, you actually can. When you start understanding what's going on with you and you manage it from an individual perspective, and we know that it's a vitamin D deficiency and it's an androgen problem, and there's a LH and FSH ratio swap, or your androgens are high, and we actually know what we're dealing with, we can start treating it. It's a medical condition. Stop thinking that you are lazy or you haven't exercised enough, or those things that we get fed in diet culture just because of your condition. You have a medical condition that needs to be treated. It can affect your mood, your energy levels. We know these things. Okay, so this is one of my patients, and I'm going to just share her story with you. Just turn your sound up nicely to hear her. The sound is not the best, but you should be able to. So she weighed in at 106. She was battling with glucose, with insulin resistance. I'm going to just tell you, because she's battling with her, the sound is very soft. But Maria has already lost about 12 kilograms. Her energy levels are a lot better. We've improved her insulin. We've improved her glucose levels. Sorry, but the video is very soft. But you can actually go watch the video on my Instagram as well. Okay, because I'm going to just skip past it because it's just a little bit too soft, I think. Okay. Okay. So by the end of the session, we're going to get into the nitty-gritties now. We're going to have mapped your food intake into a 4-step framework to target key nutrients to change and improve your PCOS. We're going to identify roadblocks in your eating patterns, and I'm going to focus on 4 key areas, because I mean, there's tons of PCOS stuff that we could focus on, and it could take me weeks to go through all of this with you, but I literally want to give you some practical things that you can take home and change already today and now. And then we're going to identify 3 changes that you can implement now to start shifting your health and taking control of your PCOS. Okay, so first things first, you got the little food record. I've already changed them since I put these on, but I asked you to write down what you typically eat in your day, and you've also got day 1 and day 2. So we're going to jump straight into this slide. For PCOS, there are key things that we want to change in the diet. We want to increase fiber. We want to make sure that we reduce saturated fats. We increase plant sterols. And we also want to try and aim for a 7 to 10% weight loss if you're carrying additional weight. Even a 5% weight loss can have significant benefit from a hormonal perspective. How many of you start trying to lose weight and you just feel like your belly doesn't shift? Anybody with belly, like tummy issues, that you feel like your waist circumference, just put a yes, yes, yes if it's something you battle with, okay? Layla, you've got your hand up, you're like, yes, okay, like I feel that. What actually happens is when you start with weight loss, you're not going to see it on the scale, guys, for the first couple of weeks, because initially you're actually losing fat from your liver, and you're using that we call it the visceral fat around the organs. So that tummy fat, that subcutaneous fat that you can grab and hold and feel, that is the last fat to go. And this is one of the reasons why we actually see a 49% dropout in women with PCOS, because they don't see those changes in the beginning. And in the beginning, you're doing all this effort, you're letting the scale be your boss, and you literally are like, the scale's not moving, so you freak out and you just give up on yourself, okay? Who has that happened to you? Like, try something, scale's not moving, you're over it, you get grumpy. How many of my patients that are on here, on my actual patients, have we had the don't let the scale be your boss conversation? Please put a hell yes in the comment section. And also, if you're my patient and you've already lost weight, please just put your weight loss number, if you don't mind, on there so the girls can all see it does eventually happen, but you have to have patience with this condition, and you cannot let the scale determine your success. The first thing I want you to look at in your food records, you've all got it in front of you, is protein. Manipulation of protein content is found to favorably impact the psychological outcomes of PCOS women. It helps with depression, with self-esteem, and predisposes the improvement in satiety, okay? So number one, if you're not having decent protein, you've got problems, ladies. If that breakfast hasn't got a solid protein, you've got issues. Has everybody got a protein at breakfast? Now, if you put almond milk in your oats, you've not got protein. If you put peanut butter on toast as your protein, you do not have protein, okay? So let me know what proteins you're having. Are you having egg? Are you having a yogurt? Are you having, what are you having? Because if there's not protein at breakfast, at lunch, at dinner, and I put an afternoon snack protein in, you are going to battle with your PCOS. Breakfast, ladies, is one of the most important things you need to get right. If your breakfast is not adequate, they've actually done clinical trials where they've done the same amount of kilojoules for PCOS women, and the one group has big breakfast with little dinner, the other group has little breakfast with big dinner. The group with the big breakfast loses double the amount of weight. So step one is in your little feedback, you're going to see the protein section, okay? The protein power. Tick the box if you're getting protein at breakfast, lunch, and dinner, okay? So you've got to make sure that the protein is not being skipped. If you are vegan or vegetarian and you're using legumes, let's say you're using lentils or chickpeas, every 70 grams of protein is 1 unit. And I'm going to share that protein list with you at the end. You'll get an email tomorrow with the protein list. But ladies, you at least need 1 protein at breakfast, 2 proteins at lunch, 2 proteins at dinner, at the absolute minimum. If you're skipping on that, you are going to battle with your PCOS. Okay. What we know as well is when we have the wrong types of protein, especially for fertility, women that have battle with testosterone and have too much animal-based proteins actually battle with ovulatory infertility. So the exceptions are for egg, fish, and dairy, and those actually improve fertility. You might all be like, dairy, did she just say dairy? Yes, I did just say dairy. We don't all have to cut dairy out completely. Basically, if you have an androgen issue with bad acne and high androgens, that's when we remove dairy. Some people are more sensitive to it, yes, but we do not have to categorically cut dairy out of the diet just because you have a PCOS diagnosis. Okay, the next group we're moving on to, and that was step 1 of the 4-step framework. Step 2, phytonutrient intake. If you are eating the same veg over and over and over and over, you're not getting color, you're not getting phytonutrients, you're not getting that variety of micronutrients into your diet. So look at your page. How much color in the last 2 days have you had? Can you build a rainbow? If you're not eating 4 cups of veg a day, you are going to battle with your other portion control. But the other thing you've got to understand is PCOS is an inflammatory condition. The phytonutrients, the beta carotene in carrots, the lycopene in watermelon, the resveratrol in blueberries, you get disulfides, you get ellagic acids. I could go on. There are 2,000 different phytochemicals. If you're not getting a variety of these, you are basically canceling the soldiers that could be eating up those inflammatory cytokines or the inflammatory stuff that is affecting your PCOS. That was step 2. So we've checked protein, we've checked phytonutrients. Number 3, fiber. The biggest problem I see with fiber is, as women with PCOS, we get fear-mongered. Carbs are bad. Don't have carbs. Then don't have gluten. Now you cut gluten, which means your fiber goes down the drain. Fiber is listed in the new Canadian obesity guidelines. Fiber is listed as a way to lose weight. If you do not have adequate fiber in your diet, you lose that benefit. Why fiber is so important is, you see on the screen these SCFAs, it's short chain fatty acids. Now, they produce acetate, propionate, and butyrate. Acetate makes little anti-inflammatory Pac-Mans that go and eat up all the inflammation. Remember, PCOS at its core is an inflammatory condition. So if you can up fiber and you can up phytonutrients, you put in soldiers that are going to help your body be well. So it's not just about weight loss. It's about getting in the good stuff that's going to make it easier for you. Who is getting enough fiber? Are you guys eating carbs? Are you not? Let me know in the comment section. Put your comments in. I want to see what you are all doing. I want you to look at the fiber on your products. For something to be high fiber, you need more than 6 grams of fiber per 100 grams. Anything less than that means you're not getting enough fiber. Please make sure you're muting yourself. Okay, so next we've got over here, oh, it's getting stuck now. Okay, So when we look at carb quality, the WHO actually did a meta-analysis and systematic review. That's like a big giant study, and looked at fiber and how it benefits. So we know that if we have enough fiber in the diet, it actually reduces risk for diabetes, coronary heart disease, mortality, and stroke. And the benefits specifically are related to fiber intake of between 25 and 29 grams of fiber per day. So what you can start doing is looking at the fiber on your product and checking that you're getting enough fiber in your diet. This is critical because it really makes a big difference to your health.
Hey, it's Brian, can you hear me?
Step 4 is we're going to look at omega-3s, because a lot of people don't get enough omega-3 in their diet, okay? They basically, they're not eating sardines, pilchards, mackerel, salmon, trout. They're not having the good fats. So if you're not eating those types of fats, you're not getting the anti-inflammatory benefit of the omega-3s. How many of you ate fatty fish in the last 2 days? So not tuna, not whitefish, sardines, pilchards, mackerel, salmon, and trout. Give me a yes in the comment section. Because if you're not eating those fatty fish, you basically need to supplement, and that's a whole nother thing on its own. It's like a whole nother talk. But if we can just all start eating more fish in our diets, then that's good. For the vegan and vegetarian patients out there, you need algae supplements. That's how you're going to get it in. Flaxseed, chia seeds is not going to do it. You're not going to get the amounts that you need for it to be beneficial. So we've looked at 4 key areas. Who of you got all 4? Who's doing all 4? Is anybody? Like, can I have a hands up? If you hit all 4, give me a little hands up in the comment section. If you're like, hey, I nailed it, I've got all 4 of those. I'm on top of it. Layla, you give me a little hands up, which I'm thrilled to hear. That's very, very good. But for a lot of you, which is the one thing that you're going to change on here? Okay, so I want you all to look at on your little list, I gave you a section that said, this is your journey, this is your progress. I think what's also important to realize is when you're changing habits, you need to slowly start shifting behaviors, and that's not always easy. So I've got 3 questions for you. What are you going to keep doing? What are you doing well at? Out of the 4 steps I've given you, what are the 4 things that you're doing well at that you can continue doing? Write it down on your little notepad for you, for yourself, and share it. If you want to share with us, what are you going to keep doing that you're doing nicely? What are you going to stop doing? Are you seeing in your eating that there's something you're like, you know what, Claire, actually every night I sit down with a packet of chips in front of the TV and I'm really going to try and stop doing that. Or I'm maybe not keeping track of my intake of my food and I want to maybe improve on that. So what is something you want to stop and what is something you want to start doing? What's the one thing from the 4 things I've told you that you'd like to start improving on? Look at that and put it in the comment section for me. Okay. So do you all feel like you can make just one change? Is there one change you can make already based on the discussion we've had around that 4-step framework? What's the one change you're going to make? Please pop it in the comment section for me. Let me know what it is. I want to have a look at it just now. So after being in private practice now for 17 years, I actually started doing group sessions with groups of ladies just after my 2nd child, Harry, was born. But I saw the power of it and the benefit of it. And I've now finally, if you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen I've been working on this for the last 4 months with an incredible group of ladies in a whole program. And one of the key things I know to be true is we need individualization for PCOS. You can't, it can't be a one size fits all program. It cannot be that. It has to be individualized. It's also very important that we have that group togetherness. And the 3rd component that I know to be true is there has to be lots of education in this condition, because you need to understand what's happening with your body, how do you treat it. So I've developed a program called PCOS Boss program, and it's got 3 key stages. The first one is called It's All About You. The second part is making your healthy happen. And the 3rd is live a lifestyle that loves you back. Because if you can start doing all these 3 steps, it will actually really, really come together and I believe be an amazing program and help many women. So I want to talk you through what this program entails and what it includes. So the first module, I'm just waiting for it to click over here to make, there we go. So module 1 is under that, it's all about you. So here you have an initial consultation with me. It's a one-on-one session with me. It's a 45-minute consultation, and I go through an intensive thing of your stress, your sleep, your what you eat, what you don't like, what you like, your family medical history. We're gonna request bloods. So bloods, the cost for bloods are obviously not included in the program, but we will do bloods. We'll do food frequency questionnaires. I'll go through your medical and lifestyle history, your stress, your exercise, your mood, a full assessment, because without that, anybody that's giving you nutrition advice on PCOS without a full assessment, it's not individualized, it's not going to be for you, it's not going to help you in the long run. We need to understand what it is you're dealing with. In module 2, I will have calculated a plan for you. So it'll literally tell you how much protein, carbs, fat you need. You would have had the one-on-one with me. So if you say, Claire, I love red wine, I really want a glass twice a week, I will calculate that in. If you say, Claire, I need chocolate 3 times a week, I will calculate that in, because I really believe we must start where we at and then we work that up from there. So you'll get a calculated meal plan, and we will then do a build out session. So we'll have our first group session where everybody comes with their one-on-one calculated plan, and I will talk you through how to build it, how to make your plan, how to swap options in and out, and we'll literally build your plan together so that it is 100% made by you, with me overseeing it and helping you to build this amazing plan that you want to do. If it includes frozen meals, family meals, we'll include that because it has to be practical. Module 3, all the blood results should be back in. So we will spend a full hour. In this course, you'll have an hour every week in the group, and you'll also have the one-on-one sessions initially, and you'll have a second one-on-one session with me to look at all your supplements, all your blood works, and for me to explain exactly what they mean, okay? So we're gonna do an hour on what the different bloods are, and then I'm going to do a separate session with you to go through your own unique bloods and what your supplementation regimen might need to look like based on those bloods. So what's common is vitamin B12 deficiencies. If you've been on metformin for many years, you probably, and you're not checking your B12 or have been on for long, you probably have a B12 deficiency. So we want to check that, okay? And we want to check your hormones. So there's a whole bunch of things we need to understand. Are you androgen problematic? Is there a ratio issue that we have to deal with the FSH and the LH? There are lots of different components I will look at and have a one-on-one feedback with you. That's in the All About You section. Then module 4 is the Making Your Healthy Happen. So we do another whole hour on supplements. And I'm going to explain to you about the inositol, the myoinositol, the D-chiroinositol, the different types of vitamin D. What is a methylated B vitamin? We're going to look at the omegas. Which one should you use? My goal, ladies, is to make sure that you're so knowledgeable about this condition by the time I've spent 10 weeks with you that you no longer feel confused, you no longer feel stuck with your condition, because you now have that knowledge. You've seen, you've got your full picture and what it means for you. In module 5, 6, and 7, we're literally going to take a deep dive into nutrition. I'm going to look at mythbusters. We're going to start on a clean slate and get proper nutrition advice, understand your energy requirements, carbs, how much can you have them, how do we look at fiber, how do we optimize fiber to get those short chain fatty acids. We're going to look at utilizing best choice proteins based on what if you're trying to have a baby, if you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to fix your acne, if you've got a mood issue. We all have different issues within the PCOS group, but we have to work through these key nutrition areas. We're going to look at the types of fats in your diet, the saturated fats, the monos, how they work. I'm going to help you deal with cravings and how to redirect old patterns. We're going to look at upping the anti-inflammatories, because if you're not getting anti-inflammatory foods into your diet, it's not going to help with your PCOS. It's about getting good quality. We're going to look at nutrient-rich foods, how to avoid the portion distortion trap. I mean, I've got amazing little food models. Here's my food chart. I mean, we'll look at all these things together. These are my food models. Here's a portion of salmon. You can see the portions. So I'm really going to teach you exactly what to do. And you're going to be a little pseudo dietitian by the time I'm done. We'll look at how to read labels. And if you're buying something from the shops, how does that fit into your plan? Then we're going to look at stress management. We're going to look at what's stressing you out and how the PCOS mood roller coaster works. And I also teach women to track their cycles. We also want to try and shorten cycles if they're 45, 60 days, how to start shortening the cycle and manage your mood and your emotions better, because this condition is linked to anxiety. We know that there's a link between these with PCOS and anxiety. Module 9 will be live a lifestyle that loves you back. I'm going to focus in on sleep. We're going to look at exercise. If we look at sleep and circadian rhythms, and we know, for example, that if we are eating late at night, melatonin actually blocks insulin. So if you're eating a bowl of popcorn while you watch Netflix at 9 o'clock and you've got PCOS, it actually really affects your glucose more significantly than if you ate that same bowl of popcorn at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, especially if you're insulin sensitive and you battle with insulin. So we have to consider all these different angles, and I will, if you're not sure about the topic, I will help you get the proper information that you need. And if it means giving you a medical journal to read, I'll also do that, because I believe education and knowledge is power. I want you to feel empowered. Module 10 will be reflections and wins. We will discuss where you all at, what you've achieved, what you've changed. We can read your bloods at this point, see how your bloods have improved. That's such a win when you get your insulin back and it's literally halved, or your vitamin D is doubled and you're starting to feel better. It's absolutely my favorite thing. I mean, I'm just so passionate about this topic, and if I could just see PCOS ladies every day, all day, that is what I would do. And there'll be a bonus time. There will be a surprise at the end. I like surprises, so I always keep those little surprises as a fun thing at the end. So this is the program that I am doing. This is another success story of one of my patients. She said, I signed up with Claire in January 2017 after hearing from her about a friend, and she needed a lot of help. She was 30 kilograms overweight, and she said up until that point I felt overwhelmed about all the advice and the theories and the diets out there. And she was very restrictive with her eating, and she said that she would just start, and then by Monday morning she started, and then the self-loathing kicked in and she could never sustain it. So she says Claire was the one voice I chose. She made the overwhelming task manageable, and with her qualifications and experience gave me the confidence to trust the process and myself. The unique meal plan and advice tailored to my unique needs as a reference is key. The relationship was one of honesty, and I so appreciate all the advice and individual focus of the program she created for me. So Kathy's actually lost those 30 kilos and kept them off now. We're in 2021 and she's still at her goal weight. She checks in with me once a year now just to have a little chat and a check-in, but yeah, she's done incredibly well. So that's her success story. My PCOS ladies that are on the call, please share any of your successes that you'd like to share with the group that is on this call tonight, if you've already been working with me for some time with your PCOS. Okay, so this is also Andrea's story. I'm going to share with you.
Is the internet working?
So that was Andrea and her story. And I just want to go through the program again. So here's what you get in the PCOS Boss program. It's a 45-minute one-on-one consult with me. That initial session, we're going to do blood tests from the lab. We're going to do a 15-minute one-on-one again with me to go through your bloods. We're going to do your own unique supplement review. We're going to do an individual meal plan and framework that address your needs and are based on your needs. I'm going to also give you access to nutrition expertise and support and guide you. We're going to have a collaborative private community on Facebook so that you can also support one another. There'll be 10 hours of live workshops with questions and answers. So every week you're doing a full hour with me in a group session. You just can't do this in a one-on-one space because it's just the cost becomes too much one-on-one. but I know there's such a need for a more in-depth dive from an educational perspective. You'll get 3 educational videos when you start off. You'll get recipe packs, exchange lists to swap foods in and out, and really be able to use any food. So if you want to eat, if I give you a banana but you want strawberries, I'll teach you that 10 strawberries is the same as 90-gram baby banana. So it's really to start giving you just a whole new skill set. I always say to my patients, it's like learning to speak Japanese or Chinese. You're not going to just learn it overnight. It's a whole new skill set. There'll also be action worksheets. So every week after our 1-hour session, I'm going to give you a key task to work on for that week and give feedback on how you're doing and where you're needing help. There's also bonus time. There will be 4 recipe guides, food record sheets for meal tracking, healthy habit tracker worksheets, and accountability partners. And this is my pilot program. It's the first time I'm running this program specifically like this. And I have a really good feeling about it. I know I've been able to help a lot of women one-on-one, and I'm really looking forward to doing this with a group and having the power of the group collaboration all together in one space. So the bonus for you staying till the end is I'm going to send you this. It's a really cool label reading summary. I'm also going to send you those exchange lists for the protein, so you can check that you're getting enough, that 1, 2, 2 that I mentioned earlier. And I will also send you a little guide on how to read labels better. You'll also start seeing then, if you use this guide with my Instagram posts, how they all relate and correlate. Okay, so how is this all going to work, and what is the cost going to be of the PCOS FOS program with all those different modules, the 10 hours of sessions in groups and the one-on-ones? Well, if we had to do this in a one-on-one setting, it would be about 14,000 Rand, and that just makes it, I think, not attainable for everybody. So I want people to have access to this and get the benefits. So for this program, where you're going to get your PCOS box, all the education, the one-on-one coaching, the week coaching, the group support structure, the individual plan, the blood results, the supplementation review, educational videos with the recipe packs, and exchange lists, the cost is going to be 7,990. And if you do need to pay that off, there is an option to do it over 3 months for 2,900 per month for 3 months. So those are the costings for it. You'll see in the comment section, I'm going to put a link there. If this is something that you are like, if this is it, I'm ready, I want to be a part of this program, I'm over battling with my PCOS, I need the help, I need the support, then you can sign up. I can only take about 20 ladies max, so it will be on a first come, first serve basis. Those patients of mine that are already in the program with me, you can also join in from week 3, and I have chatted to some of you about that. So if you are interested, please click the link in the chat section, and you can literally go and sign up on our Nutritional Solutions website and pay and everything. And once you've paid for this, we will set up your first one-on-one consult with me to start the process. I am just so grateful for all of you who have stayed, and I'm going to look at some of your questions now and answer questions. But I'm so appreciative, and I really look forward to working with a lot of you. I'm going to stop my share screen now, and let's have a look at all the comments over here. Okay, so there you've got the link to sign up. And what questions do you have for me, ladies? Please feel free to ask any questions that you like at this point. I mean, we'll record these sessions weekly, but obviously if you're on live, you can ask me questions and engage with the group, and there's just so much power in those group sessions. So you can literally sign up on the website, you would do your payments, and we will receive it. And once we receive that with your details, you put in your email address, etc., my office will be in touch to set up your first session and get everything ready for you. So the link is there in the comment section. Would we take omega-3 supplement if we don't eat any fish? Yeah, absolutely you would, because omega-3s, your body cannot produce omega-3. So if you're not taking omega-3 in your diet, your body can't make it. And for PCOS specifically, there's a marker we look at called CRP, it's C-reactive protein. And if that's high, it shows me that your body's really battling with inflammation. I mean, I had a patient today whose inflammation was triple what it should be. So she's really struggling with inflammation and battling with it. Oh, I'm so glad, Laura, that you need this course. I can't wait to work with all you wonderful ladies. How would the groups meet? Would it be online or in your offices? No, it's going to be online group sessions. So it would be in small focused, I'm only doing one group, guys. It's my pilot. I'm doing one group because I need an hour with each of you for that initial one-on-one session, and we will do it online. It will be in Zoom. It will be a Zoom call, but everyone will have their videos on. We'll chat. I'll do education module, and then will be a discussion session, and we'll have the Facebook group, and you'll have your accountability part, and of course I will be checking in on you and being your cheerleader from the side to keep you all motivated and inspired. I have PCOS and endometriosis can both be treated at the same time. They are different, but you definitely need to start somewhere, and already changing your diet, etc., would also help with your endometriosis. So yes, you can start working on both at the same time. But thanks for that question. If I don't make it onto the list, can I see you privately? You can see me privately, but the reality is privately, you're probably only going to see me in April or May. And this is why I've started this program. I want to help women. I don't want somebody that's battling like I was battling to still wait 3 months to see me. And this is my thing, guys. I think you know that I'm passionate about this. I know that I have the skills and the knowledge to help and understanding because I've been there, I've done that. So this is how I want to treat women with PCOS, because I do believe it's the golden standard, and I do believe we can do so much more education in a group session, and this just gives me a lot more time. I can't, I've done the group sessions before in my office, and they were incredible. They were amazing. Those ladies actually made their own little groups. They started walking together. It was really something to, it was really divine, and I really want to do more of that. What supplements would you recommend for a vegetarian? So for vegetarian, you absolutely have to do bloods. What's your name? Michaela, bloods is the first thing to look at, because often, remember with PCOS, if you're PCOS and vegetarian, there might be issues around your levels of B12, your iron, and we have to check those. And then supplementation, ladies, should not just be done haphazardly. You should have focused supplementation. I had a patient again this week. The vitamin D she's taking, she would need 10 tablets a day right now to correct her levels that she currently has. So I can't stress this enough. You have to look at your levels and what's happening. How do we treat hirsutism? The hair growth is often caused by androgens, which is a high male hormone, or testosterone. And when we have these high male hormones, we actually start getting hair growth, male pattern hair growth, and male pattern hair loss. So there are various things that we do within the treatment protocol to start treating the hirsutism and change that whole picture. Protein for someone who doesn't eat eggs, beans, or red meat. Fish is very expensive. Gwen, yeah, fish is definitely expensive, but there are cheaper cuts of fish. Like you can even buy salmon off cuts. It's a lot cheaper than the whole salmon. The sachets, tinned fish is a lot cheaper than fresh fish. You not eat all legumes. We need to maybe see what options you would consider. There are quite a lot. Let me just try and get through some more. Trying to conceive. I've worked with so many women who've had their babies, and yeah, I also had my own fertility battles. I had a miscarriage in between my two boys. So yeah, Michaela, I can absolutely relate. Reduce insulin. You meet online, and we can do face-to-face. If you're in Johannesburg and you want to come do your one-on-one sessions with me face-to-face, we absolutely can do that. But the main program will be done online, because I've actually got 3 patients already signed up for this program, and 1 person's already in London. So I think we're going to have a little global PCOS boss group going. How do you test for inflammation? There's a marker that we look at called CRP. It's C-reactive protein. Another marker is ferritin. We call these in the inflammatory cytokines. So I do check them, and I check what they're doing, because if you're battling with them, it's hard. Is porridge with protein powder suitable for PCOS? Yes, but you've got to check the protein and how much you're doing, because I find often people do it overboard. Can I see you privately if I don't make it on the list? Yes, you can do that privately if you don't make it on the list. But like I said, if you want to get started, I'm starting this in March. So whoever the 20 people are that will start with me in March, will start the program with you ladies as we get going. Do you work with patients that have had GeneWay tests done? Yes, our practice is registered for genetic testing. We actually have a dietitian in the practice who has an undergrad just in genetics and has a dietetics degree. So all of us I'm also trained in it, because, for example, those of you trying to conceive, something like the MTHFR gene mutation is very important to look at for conception and for B12. So yes, we definitely do work with genetics as well if you've had it done. Is protein a powder? Sorry, I don't know this question. Is protein a powder protein? I'm not sure. A lot of doctors say sweet stuff is a no. Any advice? Yes, I mean, sweets and cakes and chocolates and biscuits and sugars are not great for PCOS. We know it flares insulin. It's not great. But what I also know is if you tell somebody you may never eat chocolate again, and you tell it to a PCOS woman, they're probably not going to listen to you. So what I've come to realize is I say to patients, have something small and have it with a meal. So rather have it with big veggies and a protein and a high fiber carb and put it all together. And then that little chocolate mixed with that bolus of all the food together has a far less impact on the insulin. So there are ways to make, we've got to make this lifestyle, guys. It has to be a long-term, what you're going to do for the rest of your life. We've got to change fundamental habits. Signing up as we speak. Yay, Jamie. I can't wait. I need this. Yay. I can't wait to meet you, Jamie. I'm so excited to see when I get off this call how many of you registered, because I really am super excited to start this program with you and see how we can change this. Yeah, I just signed up. This is really going to change everything. Yay, Rebecca. Can't wait to meet you for our one-on-one consultation. So excited, and thank you for joining. If I'm a private patient, will I be able to join the Facebook group? The Facebook group will just be for this group to start with. So it's like I said, it's the pilot program, and I will later on make it available. But for now, I'm just starting with the pilot program because, yeah, this is how I'm going to do it for now. And then, does anyone have velvet skin? Adele, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Are you talking about acne specifically, or the Hirschism? What do you mean by that? Will medical aid cover it? We can give you the invoices for the one-on-one sessions with medical aid, and you can claim those portions back. So, but for the group sessions, they pay so little back. We don't actually claim it, but you can claim the one-on-one sessions back from your medical aid, depending on the types of medical aid you have. So other than beef, fish, chicken, and beans and eggs, other protein options. Some of my ladies also use pea protein powders. It depends on the person. You also can use things like low-fat cottage cheeses. You can use the legumes. I mean, you've got to get enough protein. It's quite a common problem that I see. Bianca, thank you for the supplements. Is it better to take each vitamin separately, or should you be looking at something like the COTROL or Insumax, or do you have any suggestions being searching for SA-based supplements? So the thing you want to look at with supplements, ladies, is you want to have inositol is a first-line therapy for PCOS, and you need 4,000 milligrams. So I will check that with you. You also don't want to take myo-inositol without D-chiro-inositol, because women with PCOS will convert the myo to D-chiro, but you will overconvert. So if you're trying to have a baby and you're just taking myo-inositol, it actually causes something called the paradox effect and can make your fertility worse. So on platforms like this, I can't actually say exact names and which ones to use, but when we do your one-on-one supplementation check, I will make specific recommendations for you based on your blood results. Okay, I'm going to do 2 more questions because we almost, yay, Jamie and Rebecca, you've both signed up. How divine. What are the different bloods you normally run? So thanks for that question, Marcy. It's quite unique. I mean, I'll go through them because there's tons of different ones that we can do, but we would look at your luteinizing hormone, your follicle stimulating hormone. We would look at your insulin level. I would check your testosterone, your androgen, your magnesium, your B12. We'd look at vitamin D, a lipogram, also an iron profile together with a full blood count to see what your iron is doing in a thyroid. Those are also the bare basics. We also look at CRPs. So it really depends. When I have that one-on-one session with you, I'll decide what bloods are pertinent for you to be checking. If you're trying to conceive, I probably will check your homocysteine as well. So it really depends. That's why there is no one-size-fits-all cookie cutter, and that's why I need those one-on-one first sessions. We do take medical aid, but only for those first 2 sessions, and you would still, our practice is a cash practice, you'd still pay for the sessions up front, and then you can claim for the one-on-ones as you go along. Is dairy not recommended in the diet if your testosterone levels are very high? Dairy is not the big thing that affects the testosterone. It's actually the meat and the chicken and those kind of proteins. So they actually found that dairy, eggs, and legumes don't have that impact on the testosterone. The dairy thing is very significant with androgen. So, Danny, it's probably that you're wondering. I'm not sure. You can ask me some more if you'd like, but that's what we normally look at. Okay. Then what type of bread is good to eat? When you look at breads, the fiber is really important. So try and go for something with a high fiber and a low calorie intake that's also low GI. So I mean, one of the breads that I do like to use is that Albany Ultima kilojoule controlled bread, because it's only 276 kilojoules per slice, and you can pop it in the freezer and literally have a slice when you need one. If we come and see you privately, is it the same price? You're not going to get the same program if you see me one-on-one, because I can't do, it would be 14,000 Rand if you were to do this one-on-one. In the group, it's at 7,990 Rand. So it's almost half the price in the group program. If I had to do the same program one-on-one, you literally, it would just cost too much, and you wouldn't have the time to do it that way. It becomes quite difficult. So remember, you're still going to have access to me one-on-one. You're going to have one-on-one coaching. We're going to have group sessions. I'm very hands-on with my patients. My patients that are on here can attest to that. I'm super hands-on. Like you literally become my new project, and I'm going to support you every step of the way. If I already have an appointment with you in March, do I still need to sign up? Emma, you absolutely can. It's your choice. If you want to join in with the program, you can join in and go. We're going to still do the first session as you would have. You're going to still do the meal plan as you would have, but you're going to get that group support. And this is, if I had a magic wand, all my patients would do this program, because this is eventually how I will practice. I will only be doing these programs like this, but this is going to be my first pilot group. So Emma, if you are keen, I'd love for you to join the full group. Let us know. You can phone the offices and let us know what you'd like. It's completely your choice though. It's like if the patchy dark skin around the neck. Yes, okay, so that's the darkenings from the insulin. So you can actually see it. You get it here, you get it in the underarms, you get it under the breast and in the groin, and that's linked to PCOS 100%, actually specifically linked to the insulin. How do you spell that supplement? I'm not sure which one you're specifically talking to. It's myo-inositol. I was informed to use enofolic. Does it really help with weight loss? It does. Enofolic does help with weight loss, but if you are PCOS, I would recommend you use a myo-inositol with a D-chiroinositol. So Delfran makes the enofolic. They also make picositol, which has got the myo and the D-chiro. So I'd switch within that brand. Marcy, this has been so helpful. Thank you. Thank you so much, Marcy. I think Adele is talking, yes, the darkening of the skin. The antipsoriasis nigrans is also the little skin tags that you get. So those also, can't wait to work with you. Me too. Thanks, Kate. The session has been awesome. Okay, ladies, that is time up for us. We literally have 2 minutes left. Thank you so much for staying until the very end. I've absolutely loved chatting with all of you. And if you've got any questions, please feel free to reach out to me on Instagram. You can message me there. And yeah, I'm glad. I hope you all could walk away with something that's new that you can change in your journey. And please let me know if you do make changes and see some differences. Would love to absolutely hear your feedback from today's session. I'm going to end off there. Thank you so much and good night. Bye.